Hello there. Hi, welcome. Yes, you're here to look at some of our earrings today, is that right? Well, my name's Jen and I'm going to be helping you today. Going to be looking at your ears and how we can decorate them beautifully. So I have all kinds of earrings. I have gold, silver, a lot of themed earrings, some that are just a little bit different. I would say I have some for every occasion. This one's escaped. Let's pop that back on. I also have some examples of how you can stack earrings and different ideas for you for throughout the whole year. Do you mind if I get a closer look at your ears? So I just want to have a look at the shape and how many piercings you have in each ear. Okay. Yeah, you have beautiful ears. And you have enough piercings to do a variety of styles. Each of the earrings I show you today also come in a clip format. Or we do the little screw twists or magnetic. So if there was a style you wanted but you didn't have that certain piercing, for example, you don't need to rush out and get that piercing. We can figure a way around it. Yes, so you said that you just wanted some for various occasions, different holidays of the year. Okay, so how about we start with ones that are specifically for different holidays and seasons? Okay. So these ones here are the ones I usually recommend for different occasions throughout the year. How about we start with Christmas? I know it's quite a way off, but it's never too early to start looking for jewellery, accessories and clothes for the festive period. So these ones are made of tinsel, and I like to recommend these because although they're big and statement pieces, because they're made of tinsel, they're extremely lightweight. Yes, they're still very effective. They make a statement, but you can hardly feel that you're wearing them. So they have all of these different coloured tinsel. We have blue, pink and gold, but they would go with any Christmas outfit. It wouldn't have to match completely. Do you mind if I hold them up to your ears? Okay. Yes, they look very good. And because you have a nice slender neck, they hang perfectly without touching your shoulders. Yes, so they're for any gender, not necessarily feminine or masculine. They can do for anybody. And here at the earring store, I always like to add that you don't have to wear pairs. You can wear all different earrings. You can wear just earrings in one ear. You can wear them in various piercings without using the lobes, so however you want to decorate your ears, these would be perfect. You don't have to make up your mind now. No, you can go away and think about it. Maybe email me later if you like, or just pop back in. Okay. Other Christmas ones we have, if you want to make a statement, like I said. We have these cute little Christmas trees. I think they're so sweet. Again, made out of tinsel. These little baubles on that are actually jingle bells. Now I understand that having something constantly jingling in your ear isn't for everybody, so we do offer to remove the little balls inside the bells so that they don't jingle. Yeah, sometimes it can be a little overstimulating. Personally, I don't mind it. A lot of my earrings jingle anyway, so I don't really notice it. So yeah, they're made out of this little pom-poms, and they each have one red and two gold decorations with a gold star on the top. Not as big as the last ones I showed you. Is it okay if I hold them up? They're very cute. Maybe for a Christmas party, or if you're working around the festive season, you could wear them. Okay. I'm going to stick with the big statement pieces for now. So these ones are some of my favourites. Yes, I should say all of our earrings are either sterling silver, gold, or gold plated, so you don't need to worry if you have sensitive ears yet. So these ones are little penguins. And they're each carrying a little present. And they're actually flocked, so they feel fuzzy. I'm not sure if real penguins feel fuzzy, but these are fuzzy ones. They dangle about the same as the Christmas trees. The one thing with these that I should mention is they're quite heavy. So if you're not used to heavy earrings, or if you have, for example, my first piercing on this lobe, not quite in the centre, and it's further down, and I find that heavy earrings pull my ear a bit. So we'll blame Claire's accessories for that one when I was 11 years old. But if you're fine with heavier earrings, these are a really cute little piece. Let me just hold them up. Very cute. They are some of my favourites. I always get compliments on them when I wear them. Yes, so if you have long hair, I would definitely recommend the biggest ones you can if you don't wear your hair up very often, just so you can see them. However, if you have short hair, I don't always say get the smallest ones. I say go with whatever you want. If you have really short hair and you want huge statement pieces, go for it. I have some to show you later on that are extremely large, but I think they work on everybody. Now, I know you like the big statement pieces, but I do have some that are a little bit more subtle to show you. So these ones are just tiny little candy canes. They've got a little bow on, and then in the center of the bow is a little gem. So if you weren't wanting the huge Christmas ones, you could wear these. Or what I like to say is, if you have multiple piercings, you can wear them in cartilage or perhaps a second or third hole. And they're just hooks, as were all of the ones I showed you there. We can provide the backings if you prefer, or they will just kind of nip closed. Let's see. Very cute. Alright. Let's put them here so I can get them easier next time. Okay. Now, Easter. Were you thinking about specific earrings for Easter? I thought not many people do, but I do have just a couple to show you. So these ones are these tiny little Easter chicks coming out of an egg. So they're very sparkly, extremely lightweight, which is always a good thing. And they have different flowers and things on the egg and sparkles on the chickens' faces. Again, they're just hooks. And they're not too big, but people will notice them, especially because they're on a theme. Let me hold them up. Oops. Chick wanted to fly away. Okay. Yes. Again, because they're quite small, they can be used for stacking as well. Okay. Do have some other Easter themed ones. Where are we? These ones are a little bit different, so kind of alternative Easter. So I have two different pairs of these, and they are these cute little rabbits. I say little, but they're actually very big rabbits. So these ones are our clown party rabbits. So they have this clown ruffle collar and party hats. They're not heavy per se, but because they're so big, they can end up dragging a little bit. I just think they're so cute and a little bit different. So let's hold them up to your ears. And then if you want to be even more different with the rabbits, we have these pink ones, which are basically the same basic design with the ruffle collar and the party hat, but these are our damaged version. So they have the stuffing coming out and then also a little bit of a scary face. Not necessarily Easter per se, but I always like to point them out in case you prefer that. And again, they don't have to match, so you could always have one of each because they're the same size-ish and pretty much the same shape and design. definitely a talking point. Okay. Again, not necessarily Easter, but we do have one more rabbit pair. And they are these little rabbits with knives. Very angry little rabbits. So these are small, very lightweight. I like that they're mirrored as well. You can wear them either way, it doesn't matter. Let me hold them up. Very cute. Yeah, so, I mean, they're still rabbits, so technically you could wear them for Easter. Okay, let's move on to our last holiday. And the one that I personally have the most options for, which is Halloween. So I'm going to show you a few different ones. I think we'll start with these ones. So these are our blood drip hoops. As you can see, they're a regular hoop, but they have the blood dripping down. And they just have the clip fastening like that so they stay secure. And I would say they're a medium weight. They're not extremely lightweight because this is all metal, but they're not really heavy, so they're not going to drag your ear down. Very nice, and I would say more subtle for an accessory for Halloween. They're not pumpkins or ghosts, but if someone was to look, they would be like, oh, okay. A little bit spooky. We also have these haunted house earrings. So these are a little bit more classy for Halloween, nothing scary on them per se, just the house, and then these little beads that catch the light beautifully when they dangle. Very lightweight, and again the sterling silver. Yeah, so for long hair that's down or short hair, these work for everybody. Some of them are a little bit tangled together. That's okay. We have these moons, like a crescent moon with little bats. Again, a little bit more classy for Halloween, nothing scary or gory. If you just wanted the subtle nod, and these are perfect for layering again. For second holder would be great, or third. Wouldn't recommend for any of your cartilage piercings here because the hook and the largeness of it might just be a bit uncomfortable. So, yeah. Then we have various ghost ones. So if you wanted to be a bit more out there, we have these, for example. So this is just your generic ghost, like a white sheet. This one's carrying a lantern. Yeah, so it's like the classic colours. I think that's a really nice one. It's made of acrylic, so very, very lightweight. You're not even going to notice that you've got them in. other ghosties do I have? Let me see. So these ones are a pair, but they're purposefully odd. So we have a black ghost and a white ghost. These are made of metal, but it's very thin, so very lightweight. Yeah, so you could wear them on the same ear, one of each. You could buy 2 pairs if you wanted and get 2 of the same colour if you don't like the odd colours. I like how the mouths are cut out so you can see through the mouths. And then the last pair of ghost earrings that I want to show you are these ones, which can also show a little bit of pride. So yes, these are our lovely rainbow ghosts. Again, just the typical sheet type of ghost, and they're a little bit larger, and they will stand out as they are these bright, gorgeous colours. So it's like a faded rainbow. And you could wear them to show your own pride, or maybe to show an ally, or just because you like rainbows. I think they're gorgeous. Yes. Okay. Now, let me unhook this one. Because I must show you these handmade bats. Now, these are the only pair today that I'm going to show you that are made out of cloth. So they're on a felt backing and then hand beaded into these little bat shapes, and they're just beautiful. They have these iridescent wings, a black body, and little golden eyes. And despite all of this beadwork and the fact that they're on this backing, they're very lightweight, even though they're quite a large statement piece. Yeah, I think they're just wonderful. And if you really like bats, then we have these ones. So these are resin hoops, and these are the orange, black and purple ones. They're small hoops, so they hang closer to your ear rather than hang low. Let me just look on your ear. Yeah, so they hang just perfectly. They're more like a cartoony little bat, but yes. So if you prefer hoops, we do have those as well. Now these ones aren't necessarily Halloween, but they are skeletons, so I always like to say they're for Halloween. So they're a kind of skull with this spine that acts as the actual hoop of the earring. Yes, very Predator. So they go in like a hoop, just with a little stud type of piercing, and then they hang. They are a little heavier simply because they're metal, but not too heavy that they're going to drag your ear down. They're some of my favourites. So I've shown you all the ones for different holidays. Now I'm going to show you some that are just for everyday looks or maybe parties and things like that. Yes, so I'm going to first of all show you how you can wear them on your ears. So I have these replicas of your ears with all your different piercings. Just get those hairs off there, bits of fluff and things. So this is your right ear, and you have 3 lobe piercings in that ear. So this is just an example of what you could do. A lot of people who have multiple lobe piercings think, oh, I'll wear a statement piece and then 2 studs or 2 little hoops. But I always say, wear what you like. So here you can see that I have layered the different statement ones. So in the first piercing we have this little rabbit, and it has gold fastenings. What I usually tend to do is stick with either gold or silver, but again that's just preference. If you want to mix, there's no rules. Then in the second hole we've got this one with satin and this long dangling ring. It will make a noise when you walk, so if you don't like that then you can change it. I personally like the jingle. And then in the third hole, just so it's not too overcrowded, I put this stud with a dangling heart, but again it's gold and it has the satin like ring, so it's kind of fitting into the theme of the other earring. That's just one example you could wear if you wanted to. Now your left ear is a little more heavily pierced, so I've tried to replicate that here. So this is a simple stud earring, but the back is connected with a chain, so it just looks wonderful with this chain. See, there we go. You can see it dangling there. And for the second hole, this one is a hook fastening, and then the other end of its chain is attached to a stud, so the chain is attached between the 2 earrings. Now you could wear them next to each other here, or further across the ear. The chain could go across and could look quite pretty. Then for the top 2 cartilage piercings, I've just used 2 hoops. It's just an idea again. You could add more, you could just have lots of studs, whatever your preference is. I just thought this looked pretty joining the chains together. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I wanted to show you some that I would recommend for stacking. So let me show you on my own ears. So, for example, I have this lovely crane circular one, and in the second hole it's a stud, these dangly parts. Then my right ear has 3 piercings in. So this one is actually the matching one to this one here. So this one is the moon. And then next to it I have these clouds that are on a long post dangles. And then in the cartilage I have stud with a dangle and a moon. I think anything around here, if you put the long dangly ones in, can look very pretty. A lot of people tend to just do hoops or little studs, but I think adding a little more just makes it pop. So for layering like that, some other ones I would recommend are ones like this. So this one again is the stalk, and it has this slim dangling part with a pearl on the end. Very pretty. And if you're layering lots, I always go for the slim long ones rather than chunky. So here's another example. This one has a little dangling cloud and pearls and then a star. Now I wouldn't put this one next to this one, for example, because they're both circles in the same place and it would just look overcrowded. So I would put a long one next to a short one. We have this very cute pair. Let me show you. So these come as a pair, even though they're odd. They are from Kiki's Delivery Service, if you know the anime. So this one has the little cat. That should be through there. There we go. On the broom and the dangling pearl. And this one has Kiki on her broom with the dangling pearl. So again, you could wear them in the same ear, different ears, use them to stack, whatever you prefer. Okay. Oops. Now, I'm going to move on to some larger statement earrings now. The ones I'm going to show you first are all a little bit out there, a bit alternative and wild, and then I'll show you some that are more, how shall we say, kind of conservative. So here we have some really wild pieces. This pair, for example, are fish in bags. Believe it or not, they are not the only fish in bag earrings that we sell. But this is a beautiful design, this gorgeous fish. Very big but very lightweight because they're just on acrylic. And I like how the bag is transparent, so you can see your hair through it, you can see your neck. Very elegant. Let me show you the other fish in a bag pair that we have while we're here. So these ones are like the typical fairground fish that you would win on Hookah Duck and things like that. And it's actually like a little bag, and it looks like it's full of water. A little bit smaller, but very cute just the same. Okay. We have various anime ones, aliens, but I wanted to show you these ones. So these are again just acrylic, and they are trees with books attached. So there's a book on every branch. Yes, I used to work in a bookshop, so hence the books. They don't dangle too far down. Let me hold them up to you. Yeah, they look lovely. So they could be just for book lovers. Perfect gift, I would say, for a book lover. Then some that I must show you are our little ducks. So we do a whole range of little ducks that are dressed up. These ones are like little yellow ducks, and we do them dressed up in different outfits. So we have a bunny, frog, kind of monkey, a bumblebee. Now they are solid plastic, so they are a little bit heavy when you put them on. Yes, very cute though. And these are actually our newest pair that we got in. Some people might say that they're just for Halloween, but I would say you can wear them all year round. And they are these little iridescent guillotines. So I've got the gorgeous iridescent acrylic, and then the little blade as well. Let me try and get it in focus for you. There we go. Yes, I have to manually focus your eyes. I know you've got funny eyes, haven't you? Light as a feather. You wouldn't even know they were in. Okay. Let's move that back a bit. I'm not going to show you every single pair that we have, but I thought I would show you just a few. So these are our gold earrings. Let's see. Some of my personal favourites are big hoops. So you can have your hair up or down, short hair, long hair, medium length hair. Hoops will always be a good choice. And I like hoops that are a little bit different. And I thought I would give you some examples. So these are gold hoops, and they have these pearls every now and then. They go in just like a stud. Very lightweight, even with the pearls. Yes, let me just hold that up against your ear. Oh, that's actually really pretty. Yeah. It actually looks lovely. Can be for any occasion. You could dress them up or dress them down. Some more gold hoops that are similar. Tangled. Okay, so these are very similar. These are again gold hoops, but they have this vine design with little pearls now and then. And they fasten with just a little snap fastening. Very delicate, very lightweight. They do have to be worn in certain ears because there's only one side with the design on. So let me just... Oh, beautiful. Not sure I'd recommend these ones with your hair down, simply because your hair will get caught in every single leaf. Depends how you want to do that. Okay. We also have various silver earrings. These ones are very cool. So these ones, the stud is the front, and then the back where you attach the stud is the entire dangly part of the earring. So it's this gorgeous heart design with an eye in the middle. So you simply do it like that. This part dangles just behind your ear. A little bit different. Very, very pretty and eye-catching. Yeah, let me just make sure your lobe is the right shape. Yes, yes. Yeah, looks great. Okay. So the last pair that I have to show you are the most statement pair of earrings you will ever own. Very much summer, spring vibes because they're very flowery. They're also extremely noisy, so if you don't like them, that's fine. They are these beautiful flower earrings. So they're studs. This top part is all little flowers. All little flowers. And then beadwork that dangles down. They are very big, yes. So definitely a statement. But I think anyone can get away with them if you have enough confidence. Yes, as I said, they are very noisy, so if you're a little bit overstimulated by the sounds right next to your ears, I wouldn't recommend. But if you can bear it for the fashion, I think they're gorgeous. Let me hold them up and see what you think. Oh, gorgeous. So pretty. These are one of the pairs where I would say definitely wear both of them, and perhaps nothing else, or maybe a little stud or two, because they're so big and bold you don't want to overcrowd your ears. But I just think they're wonderful. Yeah, so perhaps with a plainer outfit or one with a couple of flowers, because the earrings say everything. Yes. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your time here in my earring store. Hope I've given you some ideas, perhaps given you something to think about, inspiration. Good, I'm glad. Yes, well, no, thank you so much for coming. Hopefully I can see you again soon. Yes, so you can have a think about it, you can have a look through on your own if you like, it's up to you. Okay,